Thanks very much for that, Chris. Evening, everybody. Slightly nervous if my voice goes a little bit. I haven't done too many of these, so bear with me. Thanks for the about the eyes, Chris. That's made me blush. It's just how my life's changed in the last sort of 18 months. As a child, wasn't brought up in a Christian environment, far from it. Funerals or weddings. There was a few funerals in my childhood. I lost my brother 1 year, and I lost my father the year after. Later on in life, teenage years, drinking, even when I was at school, saved me money up throughout the week, pub Sunday. Then the sulphate, that was the drug at the time. And basically that carried on for most of my life, you know. With drink, automatically came cocaine, women. Basically that's what my life was like at the start. Also, about 8 years ago, I lost my best friend, with my grandmother. She brought me up, basically. I still got my mother, and mother was there, but due to my father passing away and my brother, her way of handling the grief was to sort of like push me away a little bit, because she thought loving me, something would happen to me. So basically that was my childhood, and up to sort of probably, you know, 8 years ago when my grandmother died. When she died, I thought, really, that's probably the end for me, you know. I wasn't, you know, happy. Business-wise, I had a quite successful business. I've got a scaffolding company. Not the best environment to be around, you know. Same sort of stuff as what I've been doing. Drink, booze, women, that kind of stuff. Probably around 18 months ago, business got bigger and bigger. I moved from sort of like St Margaret's, Twickenham, around the area. Moved out to West Sussex, put a deposit down on a £1 million mansion, swimming pool, hot tub, fancy Range Rover car. Thought I was Jack the Lad, this was it. You know, the barber coat, the wellies. Far from it. But actually exchanged contracts on the house. I didn't want to complete until the July. So actually, although I exchanged contracts and moved in a house, I paid, I think it was £1,000 a week for 7 months until the exchange completion date, where I had more money coming in, etc., etc. So basically, you know, living the life of Riley, so to speak, drinking and food and the fancy house, everything else. My grandfather come over, it was in July. Went out for a meal, sat down, quite relaxed. And he said to me, he said, son, he said, I'm so proud of you. He said, you've never been given nothing, you know, your life ain't been that great, but you've battled away and, you know, you must be really happy. It was a slight pause, and I basically just said, I ain't happy. I said, I hate my life. I've never liked my life for as long as I can remember. I'm just living. I just hate it. I don't know how much more I can take of it. That week after I said that, my life began to change. Went to hospital, been having tummy problems for a few months. Went into this room and was told I had cancer, which was a big shock. When they told me 2 sons, that, you know, I got the cancer, and, you know, not to panic, you know, we can sort things out, etc. One of the things that stick out in my mind with that was when I told them was my younger one, that's 15, held up, didn't cry, you know, I was still in shock. It was only sort of within an hour of being told. And I said, son, I said, you know, Dad's got cancer, but it's no problem, we're going to sort it. You know, kept a brave face, didn't cry. Started to walk out the room, and he said, Dad, and he turned around and he said, you ain't going to die, are you? And it just gets me when I think of that moment in time. I said, I don't know, but I'll do my best, you know. to stay around, so to speak. I think it hurt me quite a bit with my youngest son, because I did have one in between. I had a cot death as well. I lost one of my sons, my middle son. And when Jimmy was born, my youngest one, he was like my baby. It was like, you know, surrounding him, gardening, make sure nothing had happened to him. So when he said that, it just really broke down. So then obviously the cancer. After the cancer, I think within 2 weeks I was supposed to complete in July on the house. The mortgage that I had on the table, so to speak, was pulled, the recession. And in the space of a month of this statement of I hate my life, the house went, had the cancer, then I moved into a caravan, and I've lived in a caravan for 18 months. I had major surgery downstairs from the cancer. After the cancer, I had 6 weeks of recovery. And I remember it was the summertime, obviously it was July, August. Sat down outside, I had a friend of mine who's got a fruit and veg shop in Fulham, store in Fulham. Larger than life man, Jeffrey. He came over and we sat outside speaking about the illness and my business. And he said, so what do you think, Gal? You know, do you think you're gonna live and whatever? I said, well, I hope so. I said, God willing. And he said, God willing. He said, do you believe in God? And I went, I don't know, but, you know, I hope so. I hope there's something there, especially now, you know, I'm in trouble, you know. So anyway, a couple of 3 days went past, the phone rings. It's Jeffrey. I'll do his voice because he's just, when I speak about him, his voice just comes out. He's built like a brick, you know what? He's up. His arms are bigger than my waist, you know. And he goes, Gary, you're going to Alpha tomorrow. I'll pick you up in the morning. Never asked me if I was going to Alpha. He said, you're going to Alpha. I went, all right, Jeff, you don't say no to Jeffrey. So a bit of a shock. So anyway, I knew it was something to do with the church. I didn't know exactly what it was. So anyway, picks me up, goes into Alpha. Absolutely lovely atmosphere. Didn't feel uncomfortable. It's quite, you know, welcome and that kind of stuff. Plus it was like free sandwiches and coffee, that sort of stuff. So that was obviously, even though my tummy was bad, I still fancied me bacon. Done the Alpha course each week. Fantastic. My chemotherapy had already started as well. With my chemotherapy, I never used to get it in me veins in my arms. I had another operation where they put it's called a Hickman line. It's basically they put a cable through your main artery in your neck, push it down and pull it out your chest, seal the neck, and there's 2 taps on 2 cables. And that's how you used to get your chemotherapy. And I'd have it all day on a Friday in Charing Cross Hospital. And then they hooked me up to this sort of like bum bag, looked like an American tourist, you know, with this bum bag, but inside it was like a baby's bottle, and it used to shrink over the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, and would feed me the chemotherapy for the other 2 days. And then Sunday we'd have to disconnect, flush the lines, and that was it. But even throughout that, I still went to church every Sunday. Every Sunday. Didn't miss my Alpha class. I do believe I was being carried through this illness. One Sunday I actually spoke, like today, give me testimony. It was only a small few minutes. In 3 services one Sunday in central London. While I was on my chemo, which was a really good thing for the people to say that, you know, I'm not really ill. I know I've got this thing, but I'm definitely being carried. I never took any of the anti-sickness drugs, steroids, but they give you nothing. It was just, you know, and the times that I was in church and I actually felt a bit ill, I just say a little prayer, say, Lord, I don't want to leave church today. Just make me feel a bit better. And it was just like someone going right out of a switch, just instant, boom, just boom, like felt wonderful, you know. Yeah, so then I think it was about week 7, week 8. The Alpha course, you go away on a weekend. It's a time to bond in the course with the people. Also, the main objective is to welcome the Holy Spirit into your life. So I thought, weekend away with a load of Christians, not my cup of tea. You know, white socks, sandals, Cliff Richard music. Not the smell of anything like that with white socks and sandals, is just not my cup of tea. And Cliff Richard's all right, but you know. So anyway, so I thought, I don't know, I don't fancy it really. And they said, look, it's full board, there's a bar. I thought, sound, okay, go on, I'll try it. Went for the weekend. Saturday night, it was a talent night, which was out of this world, unbelievable. I would have paid to see these people. The gifts that they had was amazing. And then the disco after, went into the disco, I thought, what's this going to be like, you know? I went in there, rap, everybody's up there moving, it's drinking. I just thought, this can't be church. This ain't what I perceive to be church. We're sat on our benches and being told what to do. I couldn't believe it. The Sunday come, and as a group, you meet this big hall at this holiday camp, down by the seaside, and you have a pray and welcome the Holy Spirit. And I've heard a few things about this Holy Spirit. One of the things I was told was that you speak in tongues. And I thought, what, speaking in tongues? You start talking in this foreign language, I thought, anyway.